her name's Honor, she's a narwhal. And she was like, no, it's that it's a narwhal.
Yeah, she's also a pun. Like, that's her costume. It's a pun. It's a walking pun. I love it. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for coming to the Halloween edition of the Ice Cream Social Party. We are so excited about the lineup tonight. I can't even put it into words. Thank you everyone who came out in costume. Really appreciate it. Supposedly we didn't get the word out well enough, and I feel bad about that. But for those of you who came in costume, yes, I'm a hedgehog. If anyone was wondering. We will be awarding prizes for the people who did dress up. So the top 3 best costumes will be getting a little something from us, which we will announce after the reading. Yes. After the reading, there will also be an open mic. So if you haven't signed up for that, the sign-up sheet's on the long table in the back. Just read something to us for about 5 minutes. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And I guess we're ready to announce our first reader. Yeah, awesome. Okay. I'm really hot, you guys. So our first reader has read at Malvern Books a handful of times and has just kept on blowing us away. So I'm so grateful that she agreed to come on over and read for us tonight. Our first reader is Stephanie Goehring. She's the co-author of a chapbook titled I Miss You Very Much, and the author of the chapbook, This Room Has a Ghost. Sounds spooky, right? Her favorite flavor of ice cream is, of course, the free kind of ice cream. Alrighty, and when you're ready, come on over and take a look at this tea.
So happy not Halloween. I'm gonna start out with well, first of all, I'll just say, once again, thank you to Malvern and the ladies, the wonderful ladies behind the Ice Cream Social. Thank you to all of you for coming. Wow, that was terrible. Thank you to all of you for coming, and I'm really excited to see the rest of the readers. So the poems that I'm going to be reading, normally I don't get asked to read that much, so I feel like I can always read my sort of funnier, perhaps if there's anything uplifting about what I write, more uplifting things. But I've now been at Malvern, I think this is my 3rd time in a year, and so I basically got to the point where I have to read you guys the depressing shit. So given that this is the sort of Halloween edition of Ice Cream Social, I thought it was at least applicable to that. So sorry in advance that this isn't funny. I hope you like these creepy poems. They're from a book manuscript that I'm trying to get published called You Wake to an Alarm. Untitled. You don't wake up in a field. You aren't naked. Nothing you can see is bleeding. If there are headlights, they don't touch you. You will say nothing to no one, but to yourself say maybe. Maybe this isn't where it begins, which is the middle, because in the beginning, don't you know, everyone wakes naked in a field, holding a phone they can't remember how to use, a picture of someone they look just like, a bloody handkerchief, or a slip of paper with some inscrutable message. I put it in my bathroom so I wouldn't lose it, or I'll call because I don't know what she looks like, or I meant to get a picture of everyone when they were here. You aren't naked. This isn't a field. What is in your hands doesn't need to be deciphered, but you do need to purchase it. No one is ever good or bad, but there is evidence. The trouble is any sense. One of you can be no sense. Lover. They only hurt if you let them close. Your mouth, it's an open sore. That language is pus. Your tongue is a tongue, weary and worthless, like a muscle dissected only part way. Thank God I know how to love an open wound, my hot mouth covering it, guarding against closure. This next poem is also called Lover. Half awake and wholly breaking, like a wave, from something that can drown you into something you can drown in. My heart isn't as open as my mouth. Your arms are as unfamiliar as the house I wake in every day. I just want somewhere to put my hands, to put my tongue to rest. Do you remember the sound of the ocean that fell before you fell from her into the first hands that covered your body? Lit fireworks in a plastic bag, or a flock of birds without enough sky between their wings. And then hands, massive hands over your face, your little wet wound of a body. When you touch me, I'm trying to say I'd forgive you if you weren't me. I wasn't inconsolable. Harvest. The pumpkin strangely thriving beneath your porch is a man talking to himself, his hand thrust into his pants, a broken chair you can neither use nor throw away. The baby everyone else wants you to want sounds familiar as he cries. Hiss of every hurricane that kissed your childhood homes, disappeared, left missing storm doors, overturned stones. The moon, even tonight, fat with red light, doesn't want to be part of your song. The skin assumes its share of the responsibility. A child is blood taken from an adult. The blood is then drawn as a house by the weather. Passau. When the tree falls down, fall down, listen. Little girl, pocket full of little girl, a posy. Toe-pointed pin drop when it all falls down, like a baby. Everything in her mouth is a body, lost its body, still a body. Like a tree the breeze makes when it falls down spinning to have one mouth and use it what it's for. Okay, so I just have one more poem, and I feel compelled to speak before I read this one, simply because the poems that I just read you are kind of chronologically just removed from this book manuscript that I've been working on for a long time and trying to get published for a while. And now I'm just going to read you the last poem from the book. So basically, it feels weird to me because we just skipped the entire book in a certain way. But it translates, I think. I'd also like to say really quickly, again, thank you all for coming. But I didn't realize this until just now, but a poem that I read just a couple minutes ago mentioned hurricanes. And Hurricane Patricia is gonna devastate Mexico. Like, it's guaranteed, like it's just gonna happen. And I've been thinking about that all day. And I also happen to have, as do some friends in the room tonight, a really good friend who's in Mexico right now and is in like the direct line of the storm. And he also doesn't know how to swim. So his name is Tony. He actually came to Malvern, maybe not my last reading, the reading before. He happened to be in town. So if you've got good vibes that you want to send out into the world, send them towards Mexico. If you want to send them towards my friend Tony, I'd appreciate that too. All right, the reason I mentioned that in addition to the poem that had the hurricane in it is because this poem, to me, reminds me of the place I lived before Austin, very much. So, and Tony was a part of that. So, all right, Tony, I'm thinking of you. Epilogue, body. I can't stop talking to strangers in my sleep about what it means to dream I live in my home. The house where I touch my eyes, but still there they are. 2 giant dryers, rocking bloody clothes. When I'm not sleeping, I picture my body outside, a deaf thing I speak to without using my hands. I want to take my body to the park, let it touch all the dogs, ask how old they are. I want to walk my body on a building's edge and let it look down for no reason. Bring my body to a grimy bar, order it water. I go to the bus and there's no bus, just some old lady who's probably young, asking me about wrestlers and chicken wings. I get a text message about Wisconsin. The sun makes me sweaty. Maybe it's my clothes. I have all these groceries. I remember a friend on this street once said to me, I don't want to go to the grocery store and think about what I need. I need a bus to water my plants, to put these vegetables in the freezer. Get home where I can sing off-key to the baby who isn't mine. Push his stroller to the cul-de-sac where I talk about circles and dead leaves. Dressed in black, my hot chest carries the sunlight home. The room blues. A text message about how a haircut makes her feel like herself again, but who is she? Someone on the internet likes my photo of a TV screen. I want to take a nap, but my body won't let me. Like it lets me fuck strangers, alphabetize my pantry, lie to my shrink. In the dark backyard, I'm holding a shovel, pressing my fingers into your thigh, walking to elementary school, and it rains all over my pretty overalls. With a shovel full of dirt, where's it go? I remember I left something in the washing machine. The baby is pawing at soft blocks in the morning light, and I want to tell him a story. I stroke his hair in the direction it is growing. Thanks.